I'm Amy from Doodlebug Designs. Today I'm going to be showing you a craft project that I've been working on. Today I'm going to make some primitive style fabric balls to put in my treenware bowl. I have some styrofoam balls here that I've collected along the way, and I'm going to put some of them in my bowl to see what size and how many I want in there to fill the bowl up nicely. And I'm going to use some different sizes to make it look more realistic, as if they are actual rolls of strips of fabric. And I'm also going to take a few wooden spools that I have, and I'm going to use those in there. I'm going to cover them with some fabric also and put it all together. I think that will be a good quantity. I will cover those and then we'll see how it looks. I've gone to my scrap fabric basket and I picked out some reds and blues that I think will look good together. So I'm going to start off by doing one of the bigger balls, and I'm going to use this large blue check for it. I've already got some nice skinny pieces. I'm going to utilize those just to use them up. And when you're making a fabric ball like this, you want to have the edges of the fabric ravelly. You don't want them to be just a straight cut. When you want to cut the strips, you can just snip the fabric just a little bit and then tear it. And that gives it a nice ravelly look to the edge. This strip is about 1 inch wide. You want to use wider strips for bigger balls and narrower strips for your smaller balls. This ball is about 3 inches in diameter. I'm going to cut all the really long strings off. I don't really want those on my fabric balls. Now to start, I'm going to take some tacky glue. You could certainly use hot glue if you prefer. And just make a little glob of glue to start, and then after that you can just wrap around. If you've ever wound up a ball of yarn from a skein of yarn, it's kind of like that. You're just going to wrap it around just keep going around on a different angle each time. Then you'll need to put a dab of glue at the end of each piece of fabric. So it would be easier if you used one long piece of fabric, but I'm using up some scraps for this project, so I have smaller pieces. Looks like I'm getting close, but I do have a couple of spots here with the styrofoam still showing. Add a little bit more glue to glue down any of the ends that are still sticking up. And then I'll set that aside to dry. I'm going to use this fabric, and I don't think there's enough of it to cover a ball, so I'm going to use it for a spool. See if that's enough. And on this, I don't really want to glue it to the spool because I might want to change later and do something different with this spool, so I don't want to ruin the finish of it. So I'm just going to wrap it around and allow it to hold itself on there. Add just a dot of glue here between the fabrics and to hold that last piece down. Since these strips are a lot shorter, I'm going to try to cover up some of the ends when I put on a new strip. So for instance, here I'll add some right here so I can cover up the end of that one. So you can certainly see that longer strips are more ideal, but you can make shorter strips work if that's what you have in your scrap basket. I'm just going to arrange these in my bowl now. And if you get your fabric balls all done and you find that you think they look too new and don't look grungy enough for a primitive style, you can add some grunge to them. I'm gonna take some hot water, instant coffee. I've got a cup of hot water. I'm going to add some instant coffee. The more you add, the grungier it will look, the darker it's going to turn things. I'm going to also add some cinnamon. And some vanilla. And the cinnamon and the vanilla add a little bit of grunge look to it, darkerness, but also they smell really nice. I'm going to mix that up. And then I'm going to use a paintbrush to dab it on, and then I have an old towel here that I'm going to set them on so it doesn't make a mess. And you could paint this on everywhere, or you could just paint it on in spots depending on the look you want to achieve. I'm going to paint almost everywhere, but I'm not going to worry if there's a few spots that don't get the mixture on them. Then I'm just going to let it dry. Lay it on the towel and let it dry. It's basically coffee dyeing the fabric after I've already used it. If you're interested in more ways of aging fabric, I do have a video. I'll put a link in the description below. Really going to be able to see the difference on these lighter color fabrics, but not as much on the darker color fabrics. I hope you found that helpful. Be sure to click the like button and subscribe below. I'll see you next time. Bye.